Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. It's another anime. Chunibyo means 8th grade syndrome, and basically, I think everyone has had like the period of time when they think they're like now they think before they were an idiot. This period of time wasn't actually that far away from me. Like a few years ago, I would think I'm like very oh, this kid is trying to be edgy. What an idiot. That's not what I think of my old self. I will probably think the same in the future of my current self, but I can't really control the future, so chances are I'll think right now I'm an idiot and how I can't do certain things. But yeah, so Chunibyo has similar aspects to Pet Girl of Sakura and Toradora, as well as Bunny Girl Senpai. So the main character of Chunibyo has not really mental problems, but 8th grade syndrome, which like it's similar to the symptoms of autism in Sakura, which Sheena from Sakura, and the female main character both fall in love with the boy main character. Well, that's obvious, but their relationship in Sakura, they broke due to some reasons. This is where Chunibyo is different from Sakura and more similar to Toradora, especially near the end of Toradora. So Tiger is basically looking for something, probably his family or something, which is similar to how Rika in like the first season was looking for her deceased father. There are also like other characters who are really similar. For example, there's the pretty girl who has a pretty meh personality, and so that's like the blue-haired girl from Toradora. I forgot her name. That's basically Nibutani from Chunibyo. So at the time of writing this, I was 10 episodes in, and it turned out different. It's much different to Sakura since we expect there to be like a long like drama arc, but it just gets resolved like off camera, if that makes sense. And it's like we do like drama, but having things resolved is really nice. Like just like a one episode dilemma and resolve thing. And yeah, so at the end of season 1, Rika was moving away from 8th grade syndrome. And at the time of writing this, I did not know what season 2 was about, so I put it probably like haunts Rika like it did with the other well. So overall, season 1 concluded pretty well, and it would have been a really good one season anime. But season 2, at first impression, is very different, and well, within 10 minutes, Riku was already bullied by that's pretty funny. People say they prefer season 1 much more to season 2, but season 2 is more like a slice of life with a little bit of romance at the very end. The thing with Chunibyo that is that it sets up a dilemma, but resolves it really quickly. So like watching it isn't painful. So the second half of Sakura, I found it painful to watch. It was like, when does this end? So, but like Chunibyo does not do this. It just gets straight to the point, and it's really heartwarming. Some people could say it is a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing that it resolves all the things quickly, because the second half of second half of Sakura, there's like puts a permanent bad memory of Sakura, even though the first 4 episodes were really really good. So 9 episodes in of season 2, which is when I wrote this, it's more slice of life than romance, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It also gives off like Origairu vibe, so my teen romantic comedy is wrong as I expected, since like the characters are quite similar. So the minor characters, like the less significant characters, are quite similar. So the female main character's older sister is very cool and epic, and basically acts as a antagonist, even though there's no real antagonist. The male main character's little sister is very helpful, and that's just like a minor thing for more like slice of life. There's another character in Chunibyo that resembles Yui from Oragairu, but not 100% as like Shimamura sometimes tries to help, even though there is a sense of like romantic conflict, but there is some relation like similarities. But mostly Shimamura is just there for near the end. She's just there for support for the story and support for Rika, as that was her main role in the movie. Although she does have 8th grade syndrome as well, she can kind of control it and doesn't have it all the time. So the female main character's older sister, so Rika's sister Tolka, reminds me of a character from Data Live for some reason, even though I've never watched the show. Probably because Intel Edits once made a video, I think it was like a month ago, saying how he changed his skin from a character from that show. And I guess it just reminds me of that, since like the red eyes, like very tall, quite like dressed in black hair, and the ahoge, like a single strand of hair. And she's also like a massive brain, like one of those comedic characters who reveals something important that makes it funny, but also she's like quite cold on the outside, and but that just makes it funnier, since she doesn't really laugh, she just stares at you like, if you want to find something, you'll find it there. And it's just like she reveals stuff that's like, she knows everything basically, and sometimes it's used for blackmail. Last 3 episodes of season 2 were romance based, where Shishimiya is like Yui and falls for the male main character. But then what's different is that she overcomes it, unlike Oragairu, which kind of ends on a, not really a cliffhanger, but Yui does reveal that she still does like Hachiman at the end, so that's different. The very final scene was quite infuriating, but also hilarious. And also apparently the movie is the finale of Chunibyo, but the anime doesn't really have much. It's completely different from the light novel. The season 2 overall was more slice of life based, so honestly speaking, it was not as good as season 1. Some people say they regret watching it, but it's still good. It's just not as good. I still like a good slice of life. So another character, like a supporting main character, Dekamori and Nibutani, they had an accidental Yuri kiss, and that's very epic. So that was in the season 1 OVA, and it's referenced in season 2 and the movie, which is why like I got confused. Like, did I miss an episode? And then I realized it was the OVA. So, and yeah, that was pretty funny. And in the season 2 OVA and the movie, Shishimiya just seems like a really nice person, just supporting Rika, and also the spinning ahoge is amazing. Or ahoges in general are just epic, because like they can kind of portray somebody's emotions without actually having a physical emotion. So like the strand of hair like bouncing up and down, it can just signify that they're excited without actually showing their face or emotions. The OVA honestly had more romantic drama than most of season 2. I mean, that's like not a bad thing, but that's just something to point out. Another like supporting main character, Kumin, she's like a prophet. She like near the end of season 1, she like kind of got, it feels like she got possessed and changed her persona, but she's like a prophet, and she does, although she's like normally sleepy and doesn't do much, sometimes she does give like really good input. And there are also many hints of the ship of Nibutani and Dekamori. It's really funny. So the movie is more romance based, and honestly, I would have thought that we could graduate from Chunibyo. I actually watched this morning, the day of recording, but I digress. So Yuta basically, the main male character, basically indirectly proposes to Rika, and there's more hints of the Deko Nibu ship, but yeah, they were blackmailed by Toka to find Rika and Yuta, and it was actually really funny. They're two pretty useless goons. It's like the Team Rocket members Jesse and James from the original Pokemon and actually many Pokemon anime. It's really funny and they're pretty useless. Like in the moments when between Rika and Yuta, they are sometimes quite annoying, but like as in frustrating annoying, not like you're so annoying I don't want to speak with you anymore. But yeah, because like they get really close, and then there's always something that just disrupts them. Be like a phone call, or like a sudden stop in a train or something. It just disrupts. It's frustrating. There is an overall theme of identity and how sometimes you have to choose one identity over the other. So one of the conflicts that Rika had with herself was that she either stayed as a 8th grade syndrome person or she lets go of it. What Shimamura did before, in the past with our main character, was she chose to stay as 8th grade syndrome. Stay with 8th grade syndrome, meaning she can't really pursue her love. But I don't actually know what she chooses. I think it was more like both. She kind of just chose both. But since Yuta said he will accept Rika anyway, one of these scenes near the end when Yuta runs towards Rika, it reminds me of the opening of Bunny Girl Senpai when Sakuta starts running. It was maybe a reference, I don't know. It did seem quite similar. And near the very end, they finally have a kiss, which is long awaited. That was like 10 hours of watch time, so yeah, 10 hours, and finally we can rest in peace. So it overall ended on a happy note, even though Rika moved 2 floors above again. Tolo got married, and overall it was very conclusive. It was a very conclusive end. Apparently the light novel is very different and worth a read, even though I haven't read it yet, since I just finished the movie this morning, and some people do think there is going to be a season 3, although the movie does seem quite conclusive. When I first saw this anime, I came from the finger spinning meme, like the where your finger spins around in the intro opening. So I thought like Rika was a side character. After knowing it was a rom-com, I thought she was like a side character, being a comedic person between the actual romance. But I guess I was wrong. And also for the movie, I always thought it was like a very sad one, because I don't know why I essentially take on me to be sad and emotional, but I guess it's not. And like from the poster or whatever it's called, like a advertisement, it looked like Rika was gonna be taken away and Yuta would search for her, but it wasn't. It was more like Bunny Girl Senpai where they run away. So the show overall, it will be missed, definitely. Season 3 is unlikely, but it will probably be great if it does come out. Overall, it did take me it took me 10 days to watch. I'm very slow, I know. And overall, the music is very good. It's probably quite old, but it is very good. So that's 1,000 words of summarization, I guess. I don't know my record, how long this is. My image just kind of stopped showing me how the time. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Like, sub, dislike, comment, whatever, and I'll see you later. Okay, goodbye.